everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and for being here today. So I'm excited for today's video because we are actually going to be doing a Q&A. If you're just seeing me for the first time in a while, hi guys, I'm back. I recorded and uploaded a video on why I have been gone so long, where I've been the last year. I ended up getting a lot of repeat questions after I uploaded last week, so I figured this is a good opportunity to kind of transition myself back into YouTube with a Q&A. So I took a lot of the reoccurring questions I got in my comments, and I also asked you guys on Instagram if you had any specific questions you wanted to ask. All right, so I'm gonna jump right into the questions. I got quite a few, so grab a drink, girl, grab a snack. We're talking, we're getting into the chit-chatty mood. Okay, so the first question, and this one was asked a lot, which is why I'm starting with it, is Zach moving in with you, or are you looking for a new place together? And how did you guys decide on Zach moving to Canada and not Jordan moving to Southern California? So if you're a bit lost of this question, like I mentioned last week, I talked about it more in depth, but Zach and I did elope this past Halloween, so we are officially married, and we have started the immigration process for him to come over and live here in Toronto with me. So to answer the first part of the question, yes, he will be moving into this apartment with me, but we do not want to stay here long term. The apartment is a good size for us. I do feel like two people could easily live in here. I mean, he's over here all the time. So the apartment itself would work for us, but we probably will try to move after he is here permanently. One, I rent this place, so I'm paying rent to a landlord. Not only is rent in Toronto very fucking expensive, but I unfortunately recently learned that my building does not have rent protection, so my landlord has free reign to do whatever he wants in terms of raising my rent. So it would be nice to move. It would be really nice if we could own something eventually. I don't know how realistic that is in terms of timeline. It is very expensive. It's very expensive everywhere right now, but we are in the midst of a housing crisis in Canada. So we'll see where we end up, but long term, we do not want to be here permanently. And then how did you guys decide on Zach moving to Canada and not Jordan moving to Southern California? This is something we actually went back and forth on a lot throughout the past 5 years of being together. We were leaning towards California for a long time. There are pros and cons to both. The biggest pro for California being my business, Inspira. So a lot of you know I have my small business, and it is a lot easier and cheaper to run a business in the United States than in Canada. Specifically businesses that ship products, so shipping in Canada is very, very expensive. So we were leaning towards California for a long time because of work. Obviously the weather as well. The weather is a lot better than it is here. It honestly comes down to one thing. I'm sure a lot of you won't be surprised, but it is the universal health care. After my mom's medical emergency, it became very obvious to us the difference in care that my mom received versus what Zach's dad received when he had a medical emergency himself. We are self-employed people, so we do not have medical insurance through like a job or a company, while here we are granted it as citizens. The cool thing is that since we are married now, I am also able to get my green card for the United States, even if we don't live there permanently. All right, so the second question I got, and this one was asked a lot as well, and that is, have you regained weight? And they are asking this specifically in reference to my mom's medical emergency. How was your eating affected by your mental health? Did you relapse on binge eating? And how have you managed to maintain your weight loss throughout all the stress? So yeah, through the process of my mom being in the hospital, obviously that was a very high stress moment, a very high stress time. So I have not regained a large amount of weight. Right now I am a little heavier than I usually am in the summer, but that's very average for me. I'm typically like 180 in the winter and 175 in the summer, so I am closer to 180 right now, but I don't consider 5 pounds of fluctuation gaining weight. But I have very specific markers for categorizing binge eating, and that varies per person a lot. Like I'm sure some of you out in the wild, you'll hear someone say that they binge ate and they're talking about like half a bag of chips. When I'm referring to binge eating, that is not what I'm referring to. I am in my own league. I'm sure some of you are in the league with me. Flex, kinda, not really. When I'm referring to the time in my life when I binge ate, I'm talking 5, 6, 7, 8,000 calorie surpluses. There were days I probably had upwards of 20,000 calories. So if I remember my binge eating, no, I'm nowhere near that, and I don't think, or at least I hope I'm never near that ever again. With saying that, however, I mean, I overeat a lot. Like there's a lot of days I overeat. There were a lot of days going through this process with my mom that I did overeat. But when it comes to overeating, I try to be as nice as possible to myself, because overeating is something everyone does, like regardless of their history with their weight or eating. I feel like I have found the ideal eating schedule for myself that helps me not binge eat. A huge obstacle for me when I started losing weight was trying to get over the feeling or desire of being full. So I trained my body my whole life to have very specific hunger cues. And basically what I told my body was, if you're not grossly full to the point that you're almost in pain, you're still hungry. So for me, I'm about 180 pounds right now, 5'9". That puts me at about 2,400 calories I can eat a day. Based on the exercise I do. So the way I eat is I will typically wait till noon to have my first meal. I'll have around 500 to 600 calories, and then I won't eat again until dinner. That is enough to hold me off during the day. So that's how I've been eating the last few years. I'll have like 500-600 calories at around noon, and that means if I have 2,400 calories that day, I have 1,800 calories I can eat between like 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. I go to bed at like 9. So that is what I have found helps me because it enables me to be full. I can have a big dinner. I can have like 1,000 calorie dinner or 1,200 calorie dinner. And then I get to have my sweet treats, my snacks. So honestly, I feel like my eating schedule probably did some heavy lifting through that stressful time in my life. I just found something that really works for me, and it's not traditional. You know, it's not breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You could probably go online and read a billion articles of people saying why breakfast is so important, why this is so important. But for me, that's not what works. This is what has worked for me for probably the past 3 years, and this is what I'm going to continue doing. All right, so the next question, and this was a big one as well, is if Zach and I plan on having kids in the future. So the short answer is no. We do not plan on having kids in the future. There are a lot of reasons why I don't want kids. I have not wanted kids at all in my adult life. Honestly, I've never been someone who dreams about the day that they have a baby. Pregnancy is something that's very scary to me. It's been scary my whole life because I almost killed my mom as she was delivering me because my head was so fat. My head was so big. I literally had to do an emergency C-section because I could not get out. Like, she almost died. Not only is pregnancy scary for me, but I feel like it would be a very big trigger for me, especially in relation to my relationship with food. And I am very afraid of putting myself back in the binge eating cycle. It, as you guys know, controlled my life for a long time. It made me fucking miserable, and it's something I'm scared of. We are not equipped financially to raise a child. Even mentally, Zach and I both have raging fucking ADHD. It literally took me 3 months to do my taxes. I can't imagine signing a kid up for school, extracurricular. Like, I literally get stressed thinking about it. So yeah, neither of us are really keen on having kids, but we have our dogs. We are dog parents. I don't know if you guys knew this, but I already have a kid. Yeah, this is him. Okay, do you have any inspiration pictures for your future witchy home? Oh my gosh, I can easily find these. I'm gonna go on Pinterest and put them on the screen. My preferred, are you leaving me? Are you leaving me? Hello. He's leaving us. Goodbye. So my preferred decor style, I don't even know if there's a name for it. I would maybe say like moody maximalism, like dark colors, dark greens, dark purples, blacks, and then like maximalism meaning just a shit ton of stuff everywhere. So if you saw my apartment right now, you would see like I am a cluttercore bitch. I love shit all over the walls. I love stuff all over the shelves. I just want stuff. So that's my like preferred decor style. Luckily, Zach's pretty open-minded. He's down for like the gothy shit. He knows who I am. And I mean, he's an alternative person as well. So like he's down for all the creepy, all the oddities, all the antiques. Honestly, what I'm excited for is Zach is very techie. He's a tech guy. He does 3D printing. He does all the smart home stuff. So I just know our house is gonna be fucking lit. I'm gonna be able to talk to the speakers. It's gonna turn on the lights for me. It's gonna open my blinds. I'm gonna be living in 2043. All right, so what happened to Inspira's IG, and would you consider releasing the journals you had samples of for 2024? Okay, so this is gonna be a little confusing if you don't follow me on Instagram. Inspira is my business, is my small business. I create journals, planners, and stuff like that through the business. So what happened to the IG, the Instagram? Honestly, I just temporarily deactivated it. Nothing really happened. I get overwhelmed a lot. I have the customer service email, the Instagram, I have people emailing my Jordan Shrinks email, I have people DMing me, so it just got to be a lot and I just had to temporarily deactivate it. And then, would you consider releasing the journals you had samples of for 2024? So yes, I would consider, but for people who don't know what the fuck is going on, I released digital planners this year, but for the last 2 years I've released hard copy planners. This is one of the 2022 ones. So unfortunately for 2023 I was unable to do hard copy planners because of my mental health. I just knew I was not in a place that I was going to be able to fulfill them, to promote them, to do the marketing. I just knew it wasn't going to be a possibility for me. It was going to be too much. It was going to push me over the edge. So I wasn't able to make hard copy. I do have digital. If you guys are interested, they're still up on the website. But they're asking this question because on my story, I did show one of the designs, what they were supposed to look like, had I made them, had I manufactured them. So this is what they're referring to. The beautiful, I have two. Honestly, I would love to release them for 2024. I love the designs, obviously. I put a lot of effort into designing these, but unfortunately, like I said at the beginning of this video, it's kind of hard to run this business out of Canada because I ship all my products, and the cost of shipping in Canada is criminal. Honestly, it's like borderline fucking criminal. So I'm gonna have to do some brainstorming to see if it's even possible for me to continue doing hard copy products, but I do not want to give them up. I do not want to give up the hard copy, the physical planners. I obviously don't have planners this year, as I said multiple times, but if you are interested in getting a journal, I do have the journals. So I made these as well. I actually haven't really posted these on YouTube yet because I've been gone the past year, but these are bullet journals that I made. They're beautiful. All right, so the next question is if there is a direction of this channel. Where is this channel going? So again, I asked on Instagram what most people want to see from me, what type of content they want to see from this channel, and the vast majority of answers said lifestyle content, so like vlogging, just me living my day-to-day life, showing you my fashion, my decor. So that's probably going to be the direction of this channel, the Jordan Shrinks channel. Something that I've experienced this past year, something that I went through after my mom's medical emergency that I didn't really touch on the last video, but has definitely occurred. I have lived my life as a very anxious person. I am a very anxious person. There are a lot of things in this world that give me crippling fucking anxiety, and it sucks. But like I said, the second my mom's accident happened, a lot of the things that used to cause me anxiety do not cause me anxiety anymore. The accident really put into perspective for me what matters in life, and the things that I was focusing on before the accident were not things that fucking mattered. My relationship with my YouTube channel was kind of not great, kind of a toxic mindset. I was heavily affected by like the analytics of my channel. I think I'm really gonna step back from the pressure I've put on myself for this channel, and I'm gonna approach it kind of like a hobby. Because I want it to be fun again. I want it to be fun. I want to upload content that makes me excited. I don't want to care anymore about how many views a video gets because I honestly don't give a fuck anymore. It's hard for me to give a fuck. So I think I'm just going to upload what I want to upload. And if you guys are down to watch, I am so appreciative. I am so grateful that you even care to watch the content I put out. And if it's not for you, that's fine too. All right, so the next question, and this was a big one as well, and that is how I got my ADHD diagnosis and how I knew I had ADHD. So I got my ADHD diagnosis pretty easily. I am very lucky. I am in the minority of people. I just have a really cool fucking family doctor. He's like 35. He listens to everything I say. I go in there with my list of ailments I've convinced myself I have, and he will listen to the reasoning for every single one. He won't make me think I'm crazy. He'll just listen. So I went in and I talked to him about the possibility of me having ADHD, talked to him about my symptoms. He was like, let's try you on a medication. The medication changed my life, and we're like, yep, you have ADHD. In terms of my symptoms and how I knew I had ADHD, I feel like it might be a good idea to make a whole video on this because I have so much I could talk about in relation to my diagnosis and my symptoms and all the things I've experienced throughout my life that I never realized were symptoms. But to give a brief summary, I actually stumbled across a creator who her content niche is ADHD and how it affects women specifically, so ADHD traits in women. And when she was listing those traits, it was like looking in a fucking mirror. It was like she was talking about me. The vast majority of research on ADHD and autism have been done on little boys. So because of that, the symptoms that affect boys and men are often the symptoms that people use to diagnose even women with. If you've been a viewer of my channel for a long time, you have seen I've gone to a lot of doctor's appointments trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with me. I've convinced myself I have OCD. I've convinced myself I have severe anxiety. I do have severe anxiety, but I've convinced myself it was like a severe anxiety disorder. I've been on Lexapro, Zoloft. I've tried so many different medications for these anxiety disorders. And the second I tried ADHD medication, it's like my anxiety shut the fuck up. For me, a big reason why having ADHD never even crossed my mind. I didn't get my diagnosis till 28. I'm 29, almost 30, but I didn't get it till I was 28. And honestly, up until 28, it didn't even cross my mind that I could have had ADHD. Because, like I said, most of the symptoms I had heard about were symptoms that little boys experience. One of them being hyperactivity. I gaslit myself into believing I was not hyperactive For years, I told myself there was no possibility I had ADHD because I am so chill. But what I learned through this ADHD creator and then just reading and researching afterwards is that hyperactivity can manifest in multiple ways. And just because you are not bouncing off the walls or running around or being crazy, that does not mean you do not suffer with hyperactivity. Especially in the case of women and girls, we are socialized and taught to internalize a lot of our ADHD symptoms because a hyperactive little girl is viewed very differently than a hyperactive little boy. So what I came to learn is that I do struggle and suffer from hyperactivity. It's just not physical hyperactivity, it's internalized hyperactivity. So all these years I went looking for a cure for my anxiety, a medication for my anxiety. The reason it never worked is because my anxiety was caused by my ADHD. My hyperactivity has manifested internally, racing thoughts, intrusive thoughts, all those things that I convinced myself were OCD, anxiety, depression. It was always ADHD. So the next question is what my dream career is. If I'm being honest, I don't really have a dream career. For me, a dream career is a job that doesn't make me want to die all day. That, unfortunately, is another ADHD trait. I get very into what I'm doing. It engulfs me. It becomes my life. That's what happened with my first planner launch. My life became Inspira, and then after a few months, I no longer get serotonin, dopamine from my interests, and I burn out really fucking hard. So as I mentioned in my last video, I was dead set all last year on shutting down Inspira and never doing anything again. That has luckily changed since I'm feeling better, but my dream career is one that I like forever. All right, so the next question is if I plan on getting back into Twitch streaming. I love getting this question because it reminded me that every time I commit to doing something, people are actually listening, and I can't just fucking commit to doing things because my ADHD tells me that's my life purpose that day. I've done it so many times. I've gotten so much better at it because I realized after I got my diagnosis that it's something I do. I come on this channel and I tell everyone my new plan. I'm gonna be a rollerblader. I'm gonna be a crocheter. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then suddenly it's gone. Forever. And everyone's like, wait, what happened to that? That's what this question's about. So once upon a time, I told myself I was going to be a superstar Twitch streamer. And I got all my Twitch overlays made. I spent hundreds of dollars on this shit. That's one of my main symptoms is impulsive spending. Really bad. I spent hundreds of dollars getting all these overlays because I convinced myself I was going to be Twitch's new streamer. I convinced myself it was my calling, that it was going to be my new job. I was going to be a Twitch streamer and that was it. And then obviously that never came to fruition. I don't think I streamed once on Twitch, but I do have all the cute things that I made. Maybe I'll show you guys since they've never seen the light of day. But yeah, so I don't have any current plans to continue my Twitch career, but with saying that, I still would be so down to do Twitch. I feel like now that I know more, I might just do like live streaming on YouTube. You can do it on YouTube too. So as like you guys are already all here, maybe like YouTube's the better move. But the reason I wanted to do Twitch and the reason why I would still want to do that type of content is because I'm a big community person. I really value community. I value community spaces where I can go, where other people can go and feel safe, feel connected, feel like they have friends. And anytime I go on Twitch and I watch someone stream, that's the vibe. The community vibes are so much stronger with live streaming than pre-curated content, like the content I'm uploading now, like edited content. Because it's like we're all together at the same time. And I really, really like that. I really like the idea of creating a space that people can come, start recognizing each other's usernames, start introducing to each other, start becoming friends with each other. So that's the main pull I have for live streaming, is knowing I can create a space where we can all like watch true crime documentaries, we can watch TLC. I don't know what you're allowed to do on stream. And I'm really not against it. I've just never done it. All right, so the next question is, why don't you want a wedding? This kind of ties into what I was just saying about Twitch, honestly. Zach and I both are not interested in wedding. We're not really like traditional in that sense, but the main reason I don't want it is I just don't want the attention. The thought of having a wedding makes me very uncomfortable, having all the attention on me. I just really do not like the idea of everyone I know being there staring at me. And I know that might sound a little ridiculous. I have not had a birthday party since my 16th birthday because I do not like the attention. I do not want everyone looking at me. I don't want everyone talking to me. And I just know that having a wedding would not be an enjoyable experience for me. It would be highly anxiety inducing. I don't think I'd enjoy a single fucking second because I'd be so worried about making sure I've talked to everyone, thanked everyone for being there, and it's just not something that either of us are really interested in. We don't want to spend the money. I will say though, I love attending weddings. If you're my friend and you're getting married, I will go all out for your wedding. I will get whatever you want me to wear. I will show up looking however you want me to look. All right, so speaking of weddings, another big comment I got or question I got was about my ring. Don't look at my nails. I had to take off my fake nails and now they look fucking... But my ring, I'll put a picture because I don't know if you can even see this right now. But yeah, so where did I get it and how much was it? So we actually got this on Etsy online from a small business. You guys know I'm a small business bitch. If you are a small business, I want to support you. Yeah, so we got it on Etsy from like a hobbyist artisan like type jewelers. I really did not want to go to a jeweler, one, because they would not have anything that I wanted. I wanted something kind of unique, but also because of the cost. In total, it was around 1,200 Canadian dollars. I did upgrade a few of the aspects of my ring. So the original ring was made with black rutilated quartz as the main stone. So a black looking stone, which looked fucking sick. I just decided against the rutilated quartz because of the hardness. I smacked my hand on fucking everything. I was afraid if I got a softer stone, I would crack it. So I switched the center stone out to a 2-carat dark gray moissanite. All the stones in this are moissanite. I'm not a diamond person. I'm not a natural gem person in general. Honestly, anything that had to be mined by people, by humans, I typically avoid. I was looking at lab-grown diamonds for a bit. For me personally, I cannot justify the cost difference between having a lab-grown diamond and a lab-grown moissanite. If I can't see the difference with my eye, I cannot justify spending thousands of dollars more. So this has, like I said, the dark gray center stone, dark gray moissanite center stone, and then the rest are clear moissanite, and then obviously the black moissanite. And yeah, I love my ring. It reminds me a little bit of like lace. It's very Victorian. It gives me Victorian Gothic vibes, which I love, so. But yeah, guys, so those are all the questions I'm gonna answer in today's video. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your questions. Just thank you. Thank you for giving me this platform, for giving me this ability to come on my channel and talk even after taking such a long break. I appreciate you guys watching so much. I'm so grateful for this platform, and I will see you guys in my next video.